Hello, this is Mark Moxham, and in this program we're going to ask some critical questions about an anxiety and panic attack treatment called the anxiety release method. So let's get on with our first question. Does the anxiety release method get rid of anxiety and panic attacks? Well, as you may have seen, I've already researched a whole number of tried and tested ways to get rid of anxieties and halt panic attacks in their tracks. And frankly, there are many systems you could try. Some are good, some are bad, and quite frankly some are utter garbage, and there are a hell of a lot more in between as well. Anxiety release is one of those that made it into my top 5 simply because it will and does work for most people who try it. But before we go much further, I need to say that this is quite a new program, and it comes from the same guy as an older tried and tested program called Panic Away, and it's actually an updated and enhanced version of Panic Away. The question is, will anxiety release work for you, or will one of the other ones I recommend be better? Let's have a look and see. How does anxiety release work? According to its inventor, it's an advanced cognitive technique born from traditional psychology that everyone can apply regardless of how long the anxiety has been present. The technique used in the anxiety release system builds upon the research that I mentioned actually in the first video, where we saw that in short, a separate part of your brain becomes more active during a panic attack. The system works by teaching you how to switch your mental activity back to the rational part of your brain. Anxiety release uses a unique two-stage technique that in the first stage gets you to the point where you no longer fear having a panic attack, while stage 2 of the program is designed to tackle general anxiety by releasing calm into your body through specific exercises. By the end of stage 2, you are feeling left restored, confident, and more like your former self. Who is anxiety release aimed at? This program is intended for anybody who has a problem with anxiety or panic attacks. In particular, it would appear to be suited to people who have had an anxiety problem for a long time, a number of years in fact. The other area that this system is targeted at is anxiety while driving. In fact, there's a special CD available just on that. Who made anxiety release and why? The program was developed by Joe Barry McDonough. He has been teaching his new revolutionary approach to dealing with anxiety and panic attacks for about 7 years now. Joe is a former sufferer who was studying the cognitive behavior approach for dealing with panic attacks with some of the top psychologists, and was in the second year of a debilitating panic attack when he discovered his powerful technique that stopped panic attacks in their tracks. But the real breakthrough came for him when he made some startling observations about how a panic attack fuels and generates itself. He developed a technique on the principle that if you extinguish the fuel that powers a panic attack, then you eliminate the reoccurrence. He began by teaching a small group of people what he'd found and started getting immediate results. This was surprising, and he was initially unsure if he could replicate the same results, but people were reporting instant panic elimination, and further research confirmed that the technique was not only instantly effective but also a permanent solution to panic and anxiety disorders. The anxiety release method is an updated version of that course with many additional bonus features. It includes all the original course material of Panic Away, but with powerful new exercises and presentations to ensure that even the most difficult anxiety issues get resolved. Has anxiety release worked for others? Well, yes, like Panic Away, it has a number of testimonials. People like Graham from New South Wales. She said, "It's funny, you know, all the medical professionals that I have been to over the years, alternate and mainstream, not one of them suggested your approach to the problem, yet it's so simple." She also said that she has not used one Xanax tab since finding out about it. Another lady, Tammy, has said, "Your program has helped me so much to realize I don't need medication and I'm not going to die from anxiety." Will anxiety release work for me? All of the programs I recommended have high success rates, and this one is no different. From the publicly available data and other commercially sensitive information, I've been able to determine that anxiety release has a very high success rate, up in the high 90s. So just the course on its own should work well for you. But perhaps we should also see what another professional says. Consultant psychiatrist Dr. Alistair MacDonald has said about it when writing to Joe Barry, You express a lot of current ideas very clearly, and I like your wide-ranging approach to finding out what works for the individuals. I also like your style of writing, which I think has the potential to encourage and empower clients to tackle the situation themselves. However, with this program, you do have the choice of getting hold of a mini course that has excerpts from the main course. So you can look at that before you buy anything, and that can only be a good thing in my view. What do I get for my money? Anxiety Release comes in two versions: a physical product sent through the post, or a downloaded product for instant delivery. Opting for the physical product, your $97 gets you a 145-page course manual, a CD-ROM, 3 audio CDs, all designed to address the specific issues where people feel stuck with their anxiety. Anxiety Release is a bit like having your own personal anxiety coach there beside you each step of the way, it says. This takes the loneliness and isolation out of the recovery process and gives you the support and motivation to drive full recovery home. On the other hand, you get all the same information as a download, but it's much cheaper, running in at $67.95, which is the same price as Panic Away, by the way. I haven't yet had the opportunity to see if there's any difference between the two downloads, but common sense tells me there would not be. And in fact, I expect Panic Away now sends out the same download file as the Anxiety Release does. At these prices, both versions are in the mid-range for the type of product. So whichever one you go for, I'm sure you're going to get value for money, which means it's really just down to whether you're happy to wait for something you can hold of, or you prefer to get a download right away. One thing I need to mention is that both courses come with the offer of unlimited one-to-one coaching from Joe Barry by email should you request it. Just be warned that this is for a limited quota of people. Is there anything bad about Anxiety Release that I should know? Well, no. Even though Anxiety Release is quite a new product, it's built on the back of a highly successful Panic Away program. And remember, nothing gets into my top recommendation for anxiety and panic attack treatments on a whim. To get there, it has to have passed some pretty stiff tests. Those are: 1. It must have been developed by somebody trustworthy and respected in the field. 2. It must have numerous testimonials from real people who can vouch for its effectiveness. And 3. It has to have a 100% guarantee. And in this case, you've got 8 weeks to try it at your own pace. And if it doesn't work, you can get a full refund. However, do remember that this is a manual and audio course, so you do need to be able to use both to get the full effect. If you're not comfortable with one or the other, maybe one of my other recommendations would be better for you. What if I don't like the Anxiety Release system? That should not be an issue, as you can try the mini course beforehand to see if it fits your way of doing things. However, that said, you do have 8 weeks to try it at your own pace, and if you feel it's not for you, you do get a 100% refund with no questions asked. Is Anxiety Release the best system for me? Well, in order to help you find the best system to use, I've spent a lot of time and effort reviewing all the ones I can. I've drawn up what is actually quite a short list. You can see that on panicbreaker.com. It lists many of the things that you consider, or you should consider rather, before you decide which program is for you. I would recommend that you have a look at that first, as while Anxiety Release is one of the best, there might be one that maybe just has that little something extra that you need. Where do I get more information? For the latest information, see the recommended solutions sections on panicbreaker.com. I update the details there virtually as soon as there's anything new and relevant to write. Also, if there's been any feedback, good or bad, or if the programs have changed at all, then that will be on the website as well. Okay, well, I hope I've been of some assistance in helping you decide about which anxiety solution is best for you. Above all though, remember, you deserve the best life you can have, and taking action now is probably the best next step you can take. This is Mark Moxham, wishing you all the best. Until next time.